Hello there. I'm Scotty, or not. Welcome back to Saw Revisited. And we're on Saw 3D. Whoa! Whew. Yes, also known as Saw the Final Chapter, but wrong. It's not the final chapter. No. It's just the 3D one. Saw 7. Whatever. It's been referred to now as Saw 3D after Jigsaw and stuff, but it is technically the final chapter of this storyline that's been going on since the first one, because all the other ones have either tried to be soft reboots, completely different stories, or an in-between quel. So, yeah. But, so, on a rewatch, I remember when this first came out, I was excited because Lawrence Gordon, he's a doctor. He was coming back, and so it's like, okay, see where this goes. And then as this movie started to get going, people started to post theirs online. I remember seeing a video on YouTube, suspecting that Gordon was helping Jigsaw all this time, and of course it's revealed in this that he was. But I felt, and I gotta go with the Dead Meat podcast again, I don't think they should have been so obvious with it. Because from the very first scene of this movie is recounting what happened at the end of the first one. With Gordon bullying himself down the hallway, which reveals that that's the blood streak that Strom found in Saw 5 down there. Yeah, it's Gordon's leg stump, and he cauterizes it. And it's like, I think we should have waited on this. I think, now, they said that they should have waited for the slow cap at the Jigsaw survivors group. I think that they should have waited even longer. I don't think Gordon should have showed up until the end of the movie when he unmasks. Because I'm sorry. There's this, and then there's the clap scene. That slow clap scene reveals that there's something behind his motives, the whole thing. Also, I have a question at some point in this film that it intrigues me. Because I don't think anyone bring this up, and it's interesting. Okay? I have a theory that goes with the question. I have a theory, but we'll get there. Because I didn't think of it till just now rewatching this. Okay? But anyway, so we see that, then we cut to, honestly, which is the dumbest trap ever. First of all, it's a public trap in some town square thing in Cityville, wherever this place is. Bunch of people around. These 3 people were waking up. Ryan and other guy. Other one. No, Ryan and Kevin? Hold on. It's Brad. Brad and Ryan and Dina are stuck to this literal saw trap. And they have to push it towards one another or up to her. Turns out she's been 2-timing them, cheating on Brad with Ryan and vice versa. So the 2 fellas have to choose which one to sacrifice, themselves or her. And they start going back and forth, and then Dina proves that she is the dumbest bitch in the entire world by trying to play them against each other in front of each other. So it's no surprise when Ryan realizes what she's trying to do, talks Brad into it. I do like this line. I think we're breaking up with you, Dina. And they point it up, and when the saw trap goes off, it goes right through her. It's not very good looking, and the blood is tinted a bit pink so that it would pop in 3D. So the blood doesn't look very good, but this is, yeah. I don't know. Fun fact, Ryan is John Core. and the Mark from the Flash. Chilblain from the Flash. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I looked at the cast. I'm like, wait a minute. There's also another connection, a Disney connection in this. But before we get to that, previously on Saw, we see that Jill tried to put the Hoffman in the reverse bear trap. It didn't work. Blah blah blah. She's still hiding from him at the police station, and he sneaks into his little hideout. Yes, she runs off and goes to one of the most infuriating characters in the entire franchise, Detective Matt Gibson of Internal Affairs. Yes, Internal Affairs. Something popped in my head here when I was watching this. This isn't my theory, by the way. Why wasn't Gibson brought in 6? If Perez and Erickson thought that Hoffman was involved with this, why wasn't Internal Affairs contacted? Right? Because it's not like they tried to get a hold of him. No. He has no idea what's going on. And he keeps calling Jill crazy. I know you're crazy. You're crazy. She's crazy. She's all crazy. Why does he keep doing this? I don't understand. Even after he's got proof it's Hoffman, he still calls her crazy. Why? I don't know. But we get another stop trap. We get these skinheads. One of them played by the late Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. Rest in peace. But yeah, they're racist, and so they gotta die, I guess. That's what, according to this Jigsaw trap. Question. When was this set up? Did Hoffman set this up? Yeah, the story we're following with Hoffman doesn't match the traps that are set up in this story. When did he have time to set this up? We know he set this up, and I'll get to that in a minute, because he's there. So did he set this up as a distraction to get the cops there? I'm guessing. Because spoiler alert, of course, he takes one of the bodies of the skinheads, puts that in a Jigsaw hood in a hidden camera room at the place, and he goes and takes the place of the dead body to get into the police station, knowing that that's where they would take her, I guess. Well, she is taken to a safe house because he's a cop. He knows all the safe houses. Didn't think of that, did you, Gibson, you moron? So they get a video. Return Jill to me, and I won't kill anyone. Well, they didn't listen. But yeah. But he's secretly recording himself in a secret room there, I guess. It's supposed to lead them to somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, we meet our other character of the movie, Bobby Dagan, played by Sean Patrick Flannery, a supposed Jigsaw survivor who survived by putting these rods in his pecs and climbing up and attaching electric things. Yeah, apparently pecs don't hold your body weight according to him. And he's doing this whole book tour and everything. Oh, he's a survivor. But it's 100% fake, we find out later. Because they come up with this idea when they were in a bar. And we even see Jigsaw came to see him. The, how you doing, fellow kids? Scene where they try to make Jigsaw look younger by putting him in a hoodie and a backwards cap. Because that's how you do it, fellow kids. Yeah. But it's fake. Interesting to note, though, his publicist. This is the Disney connection. The publicist is the the principal. The principal from Zombies, which connects to good old Gus from 2. And he had a cameo in 4. Yes. So, I was like, I know her. What do I know her? I had to look it up. Yes, she is the zombie. The principal from Zombie. So, yeah. So he is now hosting this Jigsaw Survivors Club. And in this club we see Malik from part 5, Tara from the last one, one of the survivors of the shotgun carousel, Ryan, Brad, and Simone, and maybe a couple of people, I don't know. But also this new chick, whose trap doesn't make any sense now that the dead man has pointed this out. So, her trap is that she and her abusive boyfriend were hanging by their hands above a bunch of lawnmower blades. 1, how did they set those lawnmower blades to go off all at the same time? 2, was there a button for them or something? 2, how did they wake up? Because you can't wake up holding something in your hands. You can't. Maybe a remote or something, but you cannot wake up holding on to bars where you're hanging. No, this has led them to believe, the dead meat people to believe, that this is fake. That she was put in there to stage. She was paid to come in there and tell a fake story to get. Now, the only nick in this is that when Bobby tells his story, there's no footage. Here, there is. But within the footage itself, within the flashback itself, I guess I should say, it makes no sense. Because they're hanging there, she slaps him and he falls down. I don't understand. And she's talking about how grateful she feels and how reborn she feels. And I'm just like, I'm watching this. And yeah, Simone's got a point. She's like, the only thing that I'm grateful for is handicap parking at the damn mall. Because, like, yeah, like, you're supposed to be grateful for all this stuff, but, like, well, how does she get down? Number 3. So, I gotta believe that story is fake. There's so many holes, it's more holes than Swiss cheese, okay? No, she has to be paid, they never show it. And she's not one of the victims later. So, whoever orchestrated Bobby's trap, we'll get to that, must believe her story, I guess. I don't know, because I don't know how is that? I don't know. But after this, so earlier at the little press thing they were doing, they're supposed to close with the kids with his wife. Bobby didn't want to do it. So here they do that. And we get a slow clap from Gordon. And to me, this reveals that there's something sinister behind his motives. He comes out and he's like, basically calls Bobby a liar, but not in so many words. And then, yeah, we see them take off. And Bobby is attacked by a person in a pig mask. So who is this? This is my question. Who is this? At this point, Hoffman is in a body bag at the morgue. Who is this? This fuels my theory. Hoffman didn't set up Dagan's trap. Gordon did. Because the whole point of Bobby's trap is that he lied about being a Jigsaw victim, a survivor. And kind of pushing forward the motive of taking all the credit, not all the credit, but all the spotlight for himself, so to speak. So my thought is Gordon and whoever the other 2 pig mask people are, I do not believe that it's Ryan and Brad. I'm sorry. I know it's in the commentary, but bullshit. The directors are just saying that so you don't have to tie up any loose ends. They just threw that in there so I don't tie any loose ends. The 2 that make the most sense are Daniel Matthews and Rig. And before you point out, oh, Rig is dead. No, I don't care what that picture says. Okay, he's still fucking alive. He's still fucking alive. I don't care what you say. We don't see him die, he's not dead. I don't care what that picture says. Cops have been lied to before. Hell, cops have faked deaths before. Perez, hello? So no. Don't believe it one bit. Don't believe it one bit. But yeah, so how were they put in the traps? Hoffman couldn't have done this. And we've shown that this happens after after the explosion at the, after the explosion at the junkyard where they found the skinheads. Because the explosion was used as a distraction for Hoffman to switch himself out with the dummy. So he's already in a body bag at the morgue by this point, or on the way there. So the traps we get, one, the principal from Zombies has a fish hook down her throat, and Bobby's got to pull it up, and she can't make noise, or drills are going to get closer and closer to the head. What is with the drills in this freaking movie series? But of course, when you're in pain, you gotta scream. And yes, so she ends up dead, and Bobby's only response is, why couldn't you just shut the fuck up? There's a lot of cruelty to women in this. I don't know. There's what's the next one? Because it's not, someone's going to someone's head and he's gotta put these things in his ribs, but whenever he lifts, it goes up into his ribs. He's gotta hold it for a certain amount of time. But I'm watching this going, how long did you have to hold that for? Because it keeps going. I don't get the meaning of this one, but I don't know. And then the other one is Kale. He can't see, so Bobby's got to direct him. It doesn't work. He ends up getting hung or something. I don't know. And then next, what you think is Bobby's trap. He's got to break 2 of his teeth out, and they have a combination in the teeth, and they point out which teeth it is. You got to do that. But that's not his. That's not his test. His test is his wife. Each time they fail the trap, she gets in lower and lower onto this thing, and he's got to rescue her. If there's electrical wiring, electric fence. Don't whiz on it. And he's got to do the trap he said that he did. This is where he has to confess to his wife that he lied. And I've watched this movie half a dozen times at least. How does she not know? Because clearly, from the PR stuff they're doing at the beginning of the movie, it's clear this is a hoax. How is she not in the know that it's a hoax? The way they're like, hey, you should have kissed your wife, you know? Like, how does she not know that this whole thing is faked? She's just going along with this blindly? Poor woman. She doesn't deserve what she gets, but I don't know. She's innocent in all this, really, but she still went along with this. She was part of it. I don't know. Maybe she's not. I don't know. So, Dagan does the thing. It doesn't work, because when you do this, it messes with your thing. It turns it. So he does this, and he falls, and then she gets incinerated for no reason other than whoever wrote this hates women or something. I don't know. But, yeah. Hoffman then becomes the fucking Terminator. Again, much like the end of the last one, I hated this ending. I've always hated this ending, this one here. This part here, because he just goes through he breaks out, kills the coroner, and he just goes through having a killing spree in the police precinct. Where the fuck are the other cops? I'm serious, right? I had a point in 6 when I asked why they didn't have a bunch of cops waiting for them, and I want to know at a police precinct. Well, I guess they're not there because they're somewhere else, I guess. But like, how many cops do you have? Because Gibson is somewhere else with some other cops, and then they get all shot to pieces. I still want to say that Gibson's still alive, but I don't know about that. He could die, I guess. I don't know. I'm not as stickler with it as I am with Rig, because we don't technically see him die. He spits out blood and he's laying there. We don't see him die, though. The light leave his eyes or whatever. But Hoffman goes through killing people, gets to Jill, knocks her down. Well, her stunt double gets knocked down, because I don't think they're in this scene together at all. And then he puts her in a reverse bear trap. It goes off, and then he walks out, goes to his secret hideout, blows that up. And when I mean blows up, because it's 3D, he does an action hero walk away from the explosion thing. Then is attacked by Hoffman and the other two pig people who are not Ryan and Brad, I don't believe it, and taken to the bathroom. We get a whole bunch of flashbacks revealing that Gordon was working with them the entire time. He even suggested Lynn to Jigsaw, which was like, Lynn, she could do your surgery, and her husband is very, very slow. I don't know. So he takes Hoffman to the bathroom. So here's a question I didn't think of before. So Hoffman goes to reach for the saw that Gordon used to cut off his leg. Gordon goes, I don't think so, and throws it. And then leaves Hoffman there saying, game over, shuts the door, right? I don't know what's Hoffman going to do. What? So you took away the axe, or you took away the saw. What's to stop him from taking the toilet tank like Matthews and smashing his leg and getting out of it? Or what if by chance he finds the broken piece, the broken saw that Adam used? The blade will still work to cut the leg. He's not stuck like you think he is. Now the door might be locked, I guess, but who knows? I don't know. I've always wanted more conclusive ending than this. Like, I don't know, maybe Hoffman fucking dies. Why is he just left there? It's poetic justice. Not really, because it's been proven twice you can get out of this trap somehow. Right? Hell, he could smash his own foot on the floor until it's broken. You could do this, take his foot and break it like that. And slide it out. Of course, he'd still have a broken foot, but I'm just saying. Right? Also, those chains have been there. I'm assuming it's the same chains that he was in, right? Or that Matthews was in, maybe? If those are chains that have been there, how do you know they're not rusted out? He could break the chains or something. Who knows? He'd find a way. Unfortunately, this is the last we see of Hoffman, but I don't consider him dead, so I'm putting him on the list of characters who we haven't seen again. Right? So, yeah. Also put on the list, Bobby Dakin. And the chick who said she was hanging with lawnmowers. Her too. Yeah. And I guess all the other survivors after this, because you don't see them again after this, so. But yeah. Because they decided to soft reboot it with Jigsaw. Which I was disappointed in, but I don't hate. As a movie, I like it. But as wanting a continuation to this story, not so much. This movie, though, it's not worth your time. Don't watch it. Unless you're trying to finish out the saga, then fine. But, no. This is definitely the worst one. I won't watch Spiral again. Spiral is not really a Saw movie in a sense. It's in the same universe, I guess, but I don't know. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Saw 3D? Let me comment, social, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.